The Jewish holidays are coming up, and I'm continually testing my equipment in the backcountry and my ability to cook things at a high quality. I'm gonna make some pizza. It is 6:15 a.m. and I'm at the Whitney Portal trailhead. As you can see, it is raining, and it's supposed to rain all day, and somehow I didn't check the forecast. So now I'm deciding whether to still do it or whether to do something else here and just kind of practice in the parking lot. It's supposed to be light rain. It's not supposed to snow. It's supposed to be like relatively warm all day. I already packed my whole backpack. Pretty great backpack. This is brand new. It's, I don't know, 20 pounds. I think it's light enough to run in. Oh, it's actually clearing up a bit. If I can run up there, I'll make reasonable time. We're gonna make just a standard overnight pizza dough with normal yeast, 00 flour. We're gonna measure out our ingredients. We want 90 to 95 degree water, 350 grams of it. This is a terrible way to pour stuff, it just spills, but we're making do with what we have. And now we want just 0.4 grams of yeast. And we're just gonna pour a little over a tablespoon of water into that to let it hydrate. 500 grams of flour. 479, we're just short. The only other flour I have is this einkorn flour, which you'll remember from our Abrahamic pizza. I'm just gonna fill the last 20 grams with this stuff. Pour our water in there. Mix with our hands until just incorporated. Cover and let that rest for 20 minutes. We need to add 10 grams of salt, and then we're just gonna sprinkle this on top of the dough, as well as our yeast mixture. Okay, now we're gonna mix. We can wet our hands to make it a little bit easier. Basically, pincer method, we're gonna cut, fold by reaching around the bottom, moving around the top, until there's quite a bit of tension. Repeat this a few times. Okay, so now we're just gonna fold this one more time in the next hour, coat the bottom with olive oil, and wait 12 hours for it to fully rise. Check it out, so I'm gonna use my cooler as a surface for cutting the dough and shaping it. So those just been in here overnight. I'm gonna try to cut these into 200 gram pieces, about that size. I'm gonna shape these back into a ball, folding it over once, that, roll it. Now we're just gonna put these into Ziplocs with a little bit of oil. I'm gonna bring 2 of these up in case I screw up on one. Pack those in a gallon zip with a little bit of dry ice, because they're supposed to be refrigerated for about 6 hours, which is how long I plan to be out for cooking them, maybe a little bit less. The trick with the dry ice is really easy to overdo it, and then just freeze the shit out of whatever you're working with, which I did in this cooler last night. Like, just this little piece here, and I'm gonna wrap it in these paper towels, and then I'm gonna put that in here in this bag, and then I'm gonna put these also in the bag. Hope that stays cold but not freezing. I have decided to go on with my plan. It's not raining anymore, but I expect it to continue to mist or rain throughout the day. Pizza was the first thing I made out here for wild eating, and at first I brought this huge uni pizza oven up. That's not sustainable long term. And I was able to fit what I think everything I need to construct a pizza oven in this backpack. The one thing that I left at home was a pizza peel, and that's to build the pizza and also to get it in and out of the oven. So I'm gonna have to improvise. Basically this whole day is improvisation, which I'm psyched for. That's what I love. That's kind of the reason I do this. It's not the only reason, but this is like jazz cooking, because we're in the wild, we're experimenting, we're building, we're engineers. What we're gonna do is cook on a pizza stone, build a rock oven. So I'm gonna surround the pizza stone with rocks. I have an attachment for my MSR pocket rocket such that the canister is not directly underneath the stove. I have the canister, there's a fuel line, and then the burner separately. What I'm gonna do is turn the burner on its side so it's pointing like this, with the flow of hot air traveling sideways above the pizza stone instead of up underneath the pizza stone. This resembles my uni pizza oven back home, which also has a gas flame going this way over the stone, surrounded by insulating materials. In the uni case, it's metal. It's like, I don't know, aluminum or steel. I'm gonna use rocks. Another key thing for the oven, airflow. So it needs to be not completely closed. That's obviously gonna be easy to do with rocks, because I'm not gonna be cutting rocks into like masonry bricks, so there's definitely gonna be air flowing in. I mentioned this is Jewish high holiday pizza. What do I mean by that? Well, Rosh Hashanah is coming up. I'm Jewish, but this is kind of
an invention of my own. The Rosh Hashanah pizza is standard pizza dough. Ideally, you could do challah pizza dough, but didn't have time for that today. On Rosh Hashanah, we dip apples in honey to the start of the new year. We're celebrating life and a sweet new year. So we're gonna have apples on it, we're gonna have honey on it, we're gonna have brie cheese, we're gonna have serrano chiles for a little bit of kick. At the very end, we'll put some finishing olive oil, some pine nuts, and some rose petals. There's also a Yom Kippur pizza, which is a day of atonement where we think about our sins from the past year. Pizza is gonna be a secret. You see what that pizza looks like up there. Right now I'm on the Mount Whitney trail, which obviously leads to Mount Whitney, but I'm not going to Mount Whitney today. The plan is to get to this lake called Tulainyo Lake, which I read about in Kim Stanley Robinson's book, High Sierra, A Love Story, where he describes all of the Sierras as similar to these sacred Tibetan bayous, where, as the Tibetans say, 10 minutes of time spent at these places is equivalent to 10 years of meditation elsewhere. And Tulainyo Lake is one of these places, this huge lake over 12,000 feet. So we're taking the Mount Whitney trail over up to the North Fork of the Lone Pine Creek Trail. That trail, which also can go up to the Mountaineers route of Mount Whitney, but instead we'll veer off at Lower Boy Scout Lake, basically cross over a ridge into the lake. We're gonna cook the pizza at that lake, and then we're gonna try to climb Mount Russell, which is, I believe, the 7th tallest mountain in California. It's over 14,000 feet, and according to the guidebooks, it's a prettier, more fun mountain to climb than some of the other ones nearby, Whitney, Williamson, and none of the routes are that easy. So it'll be a scramble, class 3. I think it's another 2,000 feet up from the lake. Cool little waterfall here. Speaking of water, you can see I have these 2 water bottles here. There's gonna be water all along the trail, and this is a filter. So I really don't even need to bring this much. It'll be easy to make sure I have enough water. I have enough calories to last me for 12 hours at a rate of, if I'm running, 300 calories per hour. If I'm hiking, more like 150 an hour, because I don't think I'm burning as many calories. I mean, I brought 2 pizzas. That's quite a bit of calories too, but in case everything fails and I don't eat any pizza, I have the other calories, and I'd rather be mostly consuming those calories. I'm not gonna feel great if I eat 1,000 calories of pizza. There's gonna be a lot less people, and when I'm at the lake or Russell, probably very few people, which is another difference of today's wild eating episode compared to most in the past, where I'm mostly trying to focus on experimenting with my tools, my oven, and my ability to cook in the wild, rather than feeding people. Hi.
Hello.
I broke the case on my camera, which enables it to attach to like a tripod or my selfie stick. So I gotta hold it. It'll work out. So this pack doesn't have really a cushion protecting my back from the pack, and the pizza stone, as I'm running, is just totally banging against my lower back and probably causing some welt. What I'm gonna try to do is put my jacket surrounding the pizza stone just to give a little bit of cushion. It'll do. I'm definitely gonna be bruised by the end of today. Somehow I totally screwed up and I'm on the wrong trail. I'm on like just the Mount Whitney trail instead of the North Fork of the Lone Pine Creek Trail. You can see on my phone, here I am. This is the trail. That's where I started. So I'm gonna have to go all the way back down. It's been 3 miles an hour, 1734 feet of ascent. Oh, Ben, why do you do this to yourself? I should make it back down in half an hour, and I should still have time to do the rest of the way, but wow. I'm so stupid. Anyways, back on it. That only took me 20 minutes to get down, actually. Onward and upward. I made it to Lower Boy Scout Lake, which is basically the end of the Mountaineers route, the trail that I've been on. And now it's kind of cross country, I think up this way, although I gotta consult the map. But you can see behind me, Whitney, which is pretty damn majestic. I've gotten to the point where route finding is kind of difficult. You can see I'm in this basin with this big snowfield here. I ended up way up here without my micro spikes, so it's kind of dangerous to cross over this way. I could kind of shimmy across to this little rock island thing and go up there and up and over, because I think I need to get to the top of the snowfield and up and over that col. But it's probably safest and easiest, if longer, to go down to that creek down there and get to the other side of the snowfield and then go along, follow the creek up. This is sort of the route to the col here through this kind of gully, I guess you'd call it. It's not that steep. I am using my hands quite a bit, but it's going pretty fast, and I'm actually very close to the top here. Right, I'm at the top of the col. It's pretty freaking awesome. I mean, look at that view out to the dry lake bed down there. You can, I think, see Lone Pine. You can see out beyond the Sierra that way too. And we can see Tulainyo Lake, the Bayou. It's like a little iceberg in the middle of it too. Look at that. And Mount Russell behind me. That one there. We take this line here, get up to that pass or pole, and then go along the ridge. That's the East Ridge route, the summit. So now I just got to figure out how to get down there. This seems as good a place as any to build my oven. I'm gonna put it in this little cavern right here, which is already half of an oven. Let me show you everything I have. Obviously, jacket, warm hat, pants, wind jacket, and then in the bag, headlamp just in case. My 2 doughs. Metal spatula instead of a pizza stone. Other fish metal spatula. I think 2 of them is gonna come in handy. Windscreen. Oh, this foil broke. But this is what I'm also using as a sort of pizza peel. It's a cutting board wrapped in foil. Then we got the stone here, thermometer, extra battery for the Insta360. I got my leather heat-proof gloves, stove attachment, stove, lighter, knife, and fuel. Let's build this thing. Okay, that looks sturdy. First thing I want to do is make a platform for the pizza stone itself. Out of rocks, obviously. Ideally, it's flat. Maybe like in there, wedged in there somehow. Some more rocks. There we go. That's not too bad. Just like that. Now let's set the stove inside there. This is pretty well protected in there from the wind. You know, the one thing we do want to kind of build is covering on top of this. Luckily, there's no shortage of rocks. Every shape and size. Part of why I picked this. I saw the pictures. I was like, wow, rock heaven. I'm trying to really wedge this guy into the corner there. That might work just like that. Just put a little rock on top. It's gonna be impossible to control. Luckily I have valves on both sides. There, rock is falling down. Ugh, I don't want to break it. Careful, Ben. Kind of works. And then I just want to rock on top. I don't know if that's going to be too high. Oh wow, it's hailing a bit. That's not good. Oh no! Fuck! Oh, I'm playing with fire here. I just broke my pizza stone. Fuck! Oh, it was such a good idea. Can I still cook on it? Oh, the pain! So now I gotta figure out how to light this. As you can see, this is where the ignition is. Once it's lit, I'm probably not going to adjust it for a while. All right, gas is coming out. Opening it up all the way. All right, and then we are just gonna let that preheat. All right, I'm gonna make the pizza right here on my makeshift pizza peel. It's cracked, annoyingly. Apples, extra flour. Sage as a garnish, which doesn't look great by now, but it'll taste fine. It accidentally froze in the dry ice. Rose petals and Hawaiian salt, also garnish. Here's the brie cheese. Did I not remember my honey? That would be a real shame. I guess there's no apples dipped in honey. Just a pumpkin spice apple pizza. That's okay. We're 6,000 feet up at 12,500 something elevation. Flour my hands. Get this dough out of here. At least the dough looks great. This is some of the best looking dough I've had on a wild eating shoot. Look at that, it's actually like stretching. I'm letting gravity do the work here. And also use my knuckles and expand it. Watching little holes. I'm trying to keep the bubbles in the crust because that's where the flavor is. Don't need to make it too thin. Oh, that's not gonna come off. Oh man. know, maybe I'll have more luck without the foil. Oh no. Did you hear that? The thing just went out. Why did the flame go out? I think I can just relight it. I can still hear the gas. Let's put some cheese on. This is brie cheese. Now ideally you'd want this cheese to be equally sized so that it cooks evenly, but we don't even have a pizza stone, so if it cooks at all, I'm gonna be happy. We don't have a tripod, we don't have a pizza stone, but we do have boundless confidence and enthusiasm and optimism. Now the apples. You know, it's hailing slightly, very slightly, but I got really lucky with the weather. It's fairly comfortable up here. I'm trying to work fast too, because this thing can really stick. All right, pumpkin pie spice. It's like cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, you know, fall. Oh, and peppers. We'll do pine nuts and the garnishes at the end. Since no one is eating it besides me, I can make it as spicy as I want. There's our pizza. Let's check the temp. Okay, this is saying 20C. Is it not heating up at all? Yeah, it's not. This is hot, like just near the flame and nowhere else. It seems like our plan might not work at all. I wonder why. It's kind of going the wrong direction. Put it like that, kind of angle it down, see if it heats up at all. And now it's starting to actually rain, so probably shouldn't spend too much time here. I mean, it's not cold, I have a rain jacket, but obviously it could get worse. It's like the middle of the day, especially if this thing is not gonna cook. Let's check the temp. 22. Here, what, 70C? 143, right next to it. That's really terrible. Well, I guess this pocket rocket is not all that powerful after all. One other thing I can do, I can calzone it again. This is my go-to strategy so that the inside doesn't melt. And I'm gonna use it as a blowtorch on the stone so that we actually get some food here. All right, so that's gonna be put on there. I'm gonna take this big rock off. Oh, there it comes. That is rain. Okay, I'm gonna huddle over it. Oh wow, actually, one side's burning a bit. So now I'm gonna hold this at the end and just torch it. Oh, did it go out? Oh, it's really fucking raining. All right, I'm torching it. Wow, it's fucking hailing. Oh my God. Oh man, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Holy shit. Fuck, man, cook. I guess hail is nicer than rain. Oh my God. Fuck this. Fuck. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to cook one part of it. Just cook the end here, so I can take a bite and then call it quits and get out of here. I'm not fucking around with this hail. Jesus. Now there's hail literally landing on it. So it's burning. Classic bench rake attempts. Burnt dough and undercooked dough. Every time the hail lands on it, forms water on it, prevents it from heating up. Come on. Man. Oh, fuck me. Okay, I gotta turn this off. Jesus. It's a fucking hailstorm. Okay, camera's going off for now, sorry. So as soon as I packed everything up, the storm kind of subsided, which I guess is a good thing. It's not like I was cooking the pizza anyway. I'm really glad I made it out here though. It's definitely a bayou. I mean, there's something spiritual about it. I mean, you see those glaciers around there. There's no vegetation completely above the tree line. I mean, I'm happy. I think I'll eventually figure this pizza thing out. This is pizza and ovens attempt in the backcountry 2, where the Abrahamic pizza was number 1. You can see my wonderful creation in there. So pretty. I might try to eat the apples and brie on the inside of it. Here's my tashlich for Rosh Hashanah, where I'm gonna cast away my sins into this lovely body of water here. Really, I guess this is shortcomings, learnings, lessons for the new year. Let this pizza represent my last failed attempt at pizza and many more successful pizza attempts. And let these broken pizza stones, 3 of them, represent 3 more months this season, 3 more years, 3 more decades of wild eating adventures, learning new and improved things each time, summoning greater and greater challenges of my mind, and inspiring many young and old minds to do similar great challenges just for the sake of expanding consciousness, expanding awareness. Woo! All right. this break in the storm has been lasting, so I decided to try to go for Mount Russell actually. I'm at the Russell Pass now. You can see Tulainyo Lake where I was down there. Still can see out to the Whitney zone here. And then the peak is that high one up there. It's probably another 500 to 700 feet above me. It's supposed to be a class 3 scramble. It's gonna stay on top of the ridge. And then we're gonna have one attempt at making pizza. This is the Yom Kippur pizza. The exposure is getting a bit serious. This is pretty epic. And I actually see some people up there. I'm not the only crazy person. A few hundred feet to go. I think there's one more false summit after that peak there. So after an extremely harrowing journey in very high exposure to death terrain, I finally made it to the summit of Mount Russell. That was harrowing to say the least. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing that again for a while. It's pretty freaking epic. I can basically see my car down there. I can see across the whole Sierra. I'm at over 14,000 feet. The lake that I was at cooking is way down there. If you haven't guessed it, the Yom Kippur pizza is no pizza because you fast on Yom Kippur. Gotcha. But if you want some Yom Kippur pizza, if you want some Rosh Hashanah pizza, if you want whatever I happen to be cooking, follow the YouTube at Wild Eating TV. Join me on a mountain sometime. Hopefully by the time you join me, I will have perfected the art of cooking pizza in the backcountry. Until next time, see you on a mountain.